What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to EP09. So we had some big news announced on the Pittsburgh Pro Instagram page, and honestly, I was very, very surprised to see this one. Big Ramy has been announced as one of the guest posers at the Pittsburgh Pro. Now, this is a major announcement, you guys, and I'm going to talk about the implications of this guest posing in a second, but yeah, of course, we all know that Big Ramy did not show up for the Pittsburgh Pro guest posing in 2022, which is, of course, Jim Manion's show. It's where all the top bodybuilders show up. Last year, we saw Hunter Labrada, Nick Walker, Brandon Curry, and Derek Lunsford, who joined in supposedly last minute and changed the course of his bodybuilding career forever when he shocked the world with the amount of size that he put on. And this year, you have again Nick Walker, Derek Lunsford, Hunter Labrada, but you also now have Big Ramy, Sean Clarita, Samson Dowda jumped in on this, and we'll see Rafael Brandao as well. So the who's who, basically, in the bodybuilding world right now is going to be at this show. Now, historically, it's been said that if you're invited to guest pose at the Pittsburgh Pro, you do not say no to the IFBB Pro League president. And not only did Big Ramy not show up, he showed up with no advance notice to anyone at the show. It was just, he just wasn't there. And Big Ramy did issue an apology publicly, but really gave no explanation as to why he wasn't there. So, ever since then, the bodybuilding world has been speculating that essentially pissing off Jim Manion is the reason why Big Ramy has been moved to the outside of the first call-out at every show he's done since the Pittsburgh Pro, and continues to slip in placings, as if the IFBB has been, punishing Big Ramy. Now, I've made several videos about this topic, and now we have a potential change in the tides here. So, what are the implications, or I guess, what does this mean for Big Ramy moving forward? If he shows up and puts on a good show, and if you believe that Big Ramy was being punished by the IFBB, does this mean that all will be forgiven? Does this put Big Ramy back at square one with Jim Manion and the IFBB? Will Big Ramy finally be redeemed and have his placings in future shows solely determined by his physique? Now, on the other hand, what if he doesn't show up again for some crazy reason? Would that spell the absolute demise of Big Ramy's professional bodybuilding career? This is definitely one to watch, you guys, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But either way, it was a stacked lineup before this announcement, and I think this just got a lot more interesting. Alright, next up, we have a physique update from Nick Walker, showing off some of the gains that he's been making during his rebound. And listen, I just want to start with my condolences to Nick after losing his dog Thor after that hit and run. I was really, really sorry to hear about that. But regardless of that, Nick has been getting the work done in the gym, and the focus has been so much on Nick's legs that I think we forgot that Nick Walker is called the Mutant for a reason. The second place finish at the Arnold really lit a fire under Nick's ass, I'm telling you. Nick looks absolutely massive in these update pictures. He looks full as a house. He's definitely putting on size in this rebound phase. And Nick captioned these updates with this here: I will not be denied again. And I've said it before, you guys. How do you guarantee your victory at any given show? Show up with a physique that is absolutely undeniable. And Nick isn't holding back this year. He's bringing the freak factor to the Olympia, and frankly, he's got a chip in his shoulder. He's pissed off at his second place finish at the Arnold. He actually reiterated the fact that he maintains that he thought he won the show. He mentioned it again during his latest installment of the Mutant in the Mouth podcast, which actually featured Nick Trigilli, which nobody saw coming. But it was a very entertaining podcast. Nick Trigilli is actually even more of a crazy person than some of us were even aware of. I recommend you guys go watch that. It was a great episode. But yeah, Nick wants redemption. And yes, Nick's legs are the focus this year. He's growing the legs. But I mean, that upper body's going to grow too. Let's be real here. And I don't think that Nick is necessarily maxed out yet. I do think he needs to make sure that waistline stays in check, but he's got a good track record of that so far. So we have a renewed Nick Walker with a major fire lit under his ass. And hell, he's even having some fun training with this new app from Renaissance Periodization that he's been using. I actually signed up for the beta program myself. So yeah, we'll keep our eyes on Nick, and we'll see how his rebound continues. Alright, so next up, you guys, we have an update from Tonio Burton, who right now is sitting just outside of 8 weeks from the Cali Pro, where he'll square off against the likes of Patrick Moore. And you guys, I don't think Tonio is going to have any problem with Patrick at this show, to be honest with you. Tonio is just on another level physique-wise. He looks like he's actually grown since the Olympia, but not only that, he looks a lot more round and full than he's ever been in the past. I mean, just when you look at him from the back, his back lat spread, especially to me, is just, it's lights out, you guys. People talk about growing into the show. I think Tonio is doing exactly that. He's really turning some heads out there in the bodybuilding world right now, and rightfully so. He's got crazy arms, a crazy outer quad sweep, he looks wide as a house from the front and the back, very tight midsection, really round delts. He's actually a very complete bodybuilder, and he'll have a ton of time to make even more improvements by qualifying early for the Olympia. The Cali Pro is scheduled for May 27th, so that will leave him with another roughly 6 months or so until the Olympia to improve. He'll hit that rebound, probably rest up for a couple of weeks, and then start growing until it's time for a contest prep. So is it time to start putting Tonio Burton in that conversation for a potential top 10 or top 12 spot at the Olympia? I mean, he really is just as much mass with class as anyone else we're seeing out there right now, and he does get crazy shredded too. So this looks like it's going to be an exciting year for Tonio Burton, and a breakout year at that. Let me know down in the comments section how you guys think Tonio will do at this year's Olympia, assuming he qualifies. Not to get ahead of ourselves, but I think he'll qualify, no problem. Anyway, that's it for me in this video, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to EP09. Be sure to like and subscribe.